What's up YouTube, Tanachi22 here, and we are going to bring you a ruling video. This is going to be the first of many. This particular one had a situation that occurred at our locals, and it's prohibition effects versus continuous effects.
Like Shockmaster.
Right, like Shockmaster. So, in this example, we are going to be using Psyblocker and Crimson Blader. Okay, so we'll start off with the first situation. I believe you know what Crimson Blader does, but in case you don't,
I'll explain it. This is not what happened, but this is just the monster that Crimson Blader is going to attack over to use his effect. This is a spore colored like Squirtle because he loves coloring spores. So you bring out your Crimson Blader. Crimson Blader is 2800 warrior, all that. His effect is when he destroys a monster, for your opponent's next turn, your opponent cannot special summon level 5 or higher. It has to be sent to the graveyard too. Destroy a monster by battle and send it to the graveyard. Your opponent cannot normal or special summon level 5 or higher monsters during the next turn.
Now, I will say quickly, in order for his effect to go through, he has to maintain being on the field. Okay? So you can't kamikaze him into somebody and then expect his effect to trigger.
He has to maintain on the field for his effect to initiate.
Right, for his effect to...
So obviously you tack over the token Squirtle Spore, they take a lot of damage, whatever. Goes to the graveyard. Then Crimson Blader's effect triggers. It becomes continuous until the end of your opponent's next turn now. They cannot normal or special summon level 5 or higher monsters.
Right. So in the situation at the locals, it was in the final two.
Yes.
And
E-Dragons.
It was E-Dragons, right. And what did you end up destroying?
What did I don't remember what I destroyed. But maybe it was like a Dragossack or something.
Right. So it happened, and then the next turn, the opponent summons Psyblocker.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you are aware of what Psyblocker does, but basically, he's like Prohibition. You declare a card name. Cards with the name and the effects of the cards can't be activated until the end of the opponent's next turn.
And that does a lot, because it means he can't attack either.
Right.
He can't. I don't think he can switch his position. You can't. You could tribute him, but he's pretty much just locked down when your opponent calls Crimson Blader. He really can't do much of anything.
So, what he did was he summoned Psyblocker, and he said he was activating Psyblocker's effect on Crimson Blader. And then he was like, well, there go, he can do any of the special summoning that he was being prevented from doing, because he was like, Psyblocker stops Crimson Blader.
He thought he could bring out all of his E-Dragons, and we called a judge on it, and the judge misruled it, which was unfortunate. So I, being the Crimson Blader player, that's hard to say, lost that game, and then subsequently lost the match because of that, which was unfortunate. I mean, I pulled good out of my pack.
Yeah, it was unfortunate too, because we both were questioning this ruling, so it was very unfortunate.
And neither of us were the head judge, so there was nothing we could do.
Psyblocker does not stop the effect that Crimson Blader has that's continual for the turn. He did not stop that. He would prevent the future effect from working.
Next turn.
Yeah, for next turn, but he does not stop the effect that had already been applied.
And that would be the same with like Shockmaster or any other monster that does a continuous effect, because it sets a condition in the game state that your opponent cannot normal summon or special summon level 5 or higher for the rest of that turn. Regardless of, even if he dies, gets removed, gets flipped face down.
Right. As long as he was on the field for his effect to actually activate and resolve, he's fine. So if he had attacked into a Colossal Fighter, Colossal Fighter's effect would special summon it from the grave. Crimson Blader isn't present on the field though when the Colossal Fighter's effect goes through.
Well, it doesn't activate until your opponent's start of your opponent's turn anyway. So you're
right, but I'm just saying if
it wouldn't trigger Crimson Blader's effect because he wasn't on the field after the battle to trigger and resolve his effect.
Right. So Crimson Blader's effect just does not apply because he's not on the field for his effect to activate. He has to be present on the field for his effect to activate and resolve.
He can be booked and his effect would still work.
He's still on the field. But yeah, once his effect goes through, something like Psyblocker won't stop him. It'll stop him for the next turn, but it won't stop him for that turn. And that's what really kind of screwed him over. So
Yes.
we just thought we'd do, we're going to start doing more videos like this. But we thought we would do this ruling vid to help out anybody that would be confused on, situations like this. So hopefully this kind of thing helps you out. And, for those that, didn't know it, hopefully, this will help you for any future duels or any past duels. Maybe you've had the same thing happen.
Just remember, Prohibition type effects from side blocker do not stop continuous effects that are applied by a monster effect.
Right.
If it was like a Royal Decree, it would stop Royal Decree because Royal Decree has to maintain its presence on the field. Side blocker set a condition. Or not side blocker. Crimson Blader set a condition. Side blocker sets a condition too. It's just it can't overrule conditions already done.
Right.
So there you go.
All right, so this is our first ruling vid. Hopefully y'all like the video and comment with any rulings perhaps that you want to know about.
Subscribe for more.
Yep, subscribe. And yeah, next time, get your shit straight.